So, da haben wir eine neue Bandvorstellung und heute habe ich jemanden ganz Besonderen da, der in, ich glaube, sehr, sehr vielen Bands spielt. Ähm, allerdings, ja, es kommt die Band, aber das wird er euch gleich selber erzählen. Das Interview machen wir auf Englisch, ähm, weil die Band quasi halb in Holland, halb in Deutschland ja, stationiert ist, hätte ich fast gesagt. Um, so yeah, now I will switch to English. Yeah, welcome. How was your name pronounced? Raf?
Yeah, rough. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, before we'll go on, just introduce yourself and yeah.
All right. This is Raf. I am the founder, guitarist, and vocalist of AnomiC, and it's a thrash metal band, a thrash death metal band based in Amsterdam slash Germany, Leipzig, Germany. And yeah, I'm 43 years old. I'm originally Syrian, but I'm Syrian Dutch. I have a Dutch passport also. I've been living in Europe for almost 10 years now.
Okay.
And I started this project in 2023. Anomic is my latest
Um,
creations.
yeah, I don't know. Do you understand German a bit? Or
German, like sometimes some words that are common with Dutch, sometimes I get, but if I
okay,
read
okay,
usually German, it's easier than listening. Reading, there's a
okay.
lot of
Yeah, yeah,
words
yeah.
that look the same as Dutch, so I can,
Yeah, yeah. They are
distinguish.
very much. Yeah, some. Yeah.
It's like similarity because Dutch took a lot from German and from English and from French. So
Yeah, it's
if
kind
I
of
see these
mix of all of them.
mixed,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I just told that you have a lot of bands which you're playing in, and but today we will talk about yeah, Anomic.
Yeah,
As I said, it's a mix between death and thrash metal.
that's true. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, but before we will talk about the band, I would like to know some things about the person who I'm talking with. Um,
Sure.
yeah, how did you become a metalhead? And maybe was there specific record or an album or band that you listened to that influenced or gave you the input or the impact that you say, okay, I will become a metalhead.
Oh, last question. Well, I was pretty young actually when this happened. Ironically, I lived in Saudi Arabia at the time. My dad was a working man, an engineer, and he lived in Saudi Arabia at the time he found a job. So we all went with him as a family. So it was, I think, 1992. I lived in a compound in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, and I had an Egyptian friend who was in a German school at the time. And we were just kids, we were like 10, 11 years old. So he would go to the German school and he would come back and tell me, dude, I saw a couple of guys wearing, like, they have long hair and they're wearing stuff like, bands. Now I know some bands. I know Metallica, I know Megadeth. Told him, what are those? I was at the time like getting into English music. I was listening to Michael Jackson. I was listening to Michael Bolton, Elton John, stuff like the Ace of Base at the time.
Hmm.
Just figuring out my way. What do I like? I was a kid, so he like was flabbergasted with those guys with long hair. They have like skulls and stuff and t-shirts. So the first band was Megadeth and Metallica actually. But the first album that got me into it was the Black Album. At the time, it
Hmm.
was really big, as you know, and
Hmm.
we had MTV also at the time. So I saw the clip from Nothing Else Matters, and I was hooked because it was not heavy. It was a soft song, but
Yeah.
accessible. But at the same time, I saw the look, how they looked in the clip, how simple it was. The clip from the song, it was so
Hmm.
simple. They were in the studio and just goofing around and you know, going out and filming themselves, like giving money to a homeless guy. Like it was very simple compared to the stuff that I was watching, and
Hmm.
I was just instantly hooked. And I bought the tape from the Black Album. And the second thing was, I think, Ride the Lightning and then Countdown to Extinction. Those were my Megadeth, Countdown to Extinction. Those were my three albums, I think, my introduction to the
Okay.
music.
Okay. And what was the last three albums you bought?
Last three albums. Oh, wow. Well, actually, the last batch I bought about 20 albums. So it's not
All
three.
right.
I buy like,
Okay.
in bulks, I buy CDs. but I can mention three for you if you want. One second. That's three that I was listening. So you have Destruction, All Hell Breaks Loose.
Okay.
You have Unleashed, Shadows in the Deep.
Great
You
album.
have Virgin Steel, Marriage Between Heaven and Hell, two, part two. Those are the last three I was listening to.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I actually I listened to Virgin Steel a few days ago. Friend of mine introduced them to me because I heard of them, but I wasn't sure what style they're making, and
I love this band.
um, yeah, but I have to say, I think the early stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
But it's
until the
like
90s.
yeah, for me it's like
Yeah.
even with this power and heavy stuff, it's I think the 80s and then the 90s were the best time, like for
Yes.
Halloween and
Blind
maybe you know
Guardian.
Gravedigger from Germany.
Absolutely. I
And
love Gravedigger. Yeah.
yeah, okay,
Def,
okay,
I just saw them at what is it, Alcatraz or Grass Pop just last summer. This was the
yeah,
first time for me to see them. I was very excited. Like it was a bucket list band also.
okay,
So
yeah,
I was very happy to see them. But
yeah.
Virgin Steel, they had some really cool albums in the 90s, and then they had a period where they went glam. Then they went back. They are releasing some cool stuff now. I'm not
Okay,
still familiar with the new stuff so much, but I've heard a couple of
okay.
albums, a couple of
Maybe I have
songs.
to
Really cool.
I have to check them out again. Okay.
It's an underrated band, I think. People should check them out. Iconic.
Yeah, I will. I will. Is there any I don't know if it's in English same called genre,
Hmm.
or a subgenre of metal
Subgenre.
where are you absolutely not into?
Well, I mean, for me, it's really hard to hate bands. I hate a few bands, but I usually like love everything. But the ones that I tried my best and couldn't get it is new metal. That's the only subgenre that I completely am not into. Like
Yeah.
I
Okay.
tried my best, even when,
Yeah.
because they came out when I was young still, or I was a kid when they came out. But I was raised to listen to rock and roll. Like again, Metallica and Megadeth were my first bands. But then I got into the 80s rock. Like I love Guns N' Roses and Skid Row and Wasp and those bands. They were
Yeah.
big in my time. So to see those bands coming up with the spiky stuff and baggy jeans and like Limp
Yeah.
Bizkit and Linkin Park, I could not even recognize that those were metal even. Like what the hell is this? Is this really, why are they on Headbangers Ball? What are they
Yeah.
doing on Headbangers
They're
Ball?
real
They don't
close,
look like,
like in rap music, but they yeah.
yeah, it just didn't click with me. And I like few songs. I like maybe a couple of songs from Marilyn Manson. I like a couple of songs from Slipknot. But generally, that's the subgenre that I just cannot say. This and metalcore. But I like metalcore a little bit more, maybe a little more bands. But new metal, nothing. I
Yeah.
couldn't.
Okay.
I couldn't.
Yeah. I understand. I think when metal new metal came up for me, it was like they um how I describe they destroy our scene, they
Destroyed
destroy the music.
100%.
But but
100%.
but but after a few years, I realized, okay, if you're a kid in the 90s and the first thing you get in touch with is Linkin Park or Slipknot or even Korn, that could be a like
Gateway.
how is it? Yeah, a door opener, you know,
100%.
and then then you will explore
Get into the good stuff afterwards.
the real metal. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I totally
Um,
agree. I have a lot of friends who are in their 20s, and late 20s, even early 20s, people from the Syrian scene or Egyptian scene. And that's indeed when they started out. They started out with Godsmack and System of a Down and stuff like that. And I understand that this is a big thing in their life and their memory and their
yeah,
childhood. So I
yeah,
don't judge them. And I always know that, if you do like that, you begin to creep into the good stuff. You start listening to heavier and more, like new metal has a lot of melodic stuff. So you have and you go to bands like Kill Switch Engage and then As I Lay Dying and those
yeah,
bands, you
yeah,
begin
yeah,
to
yeah.
evolve into getting maybe into At the Gates or Dark Tranquility or something like that. And then you're good. You're good to go.
But I remember when I was, I think, around 14, and I saw the first time Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit. I was like, oh, I
Uh-huh.
want to look like him, like this
Okay.
cool hip hop rap guy,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
with tattoos and kind of bad boy style.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, but then yeah, I
You came back to your senses.
Yes, yes, yes. Um, all right. Is there any music apart from rock and metal what you listen to, like kind of a guilty pleasure? You mentioned Ace of Base and stuff. Are you still
Well,
listening
Ace
to
of
them,
Base, I
or
mean,
is
it's more nostalgic for me at the moment. I mean,
yeah,
I like, the old songs, All That She Wants and stuff like that because I grew up with them. But I
yeah.
love Michael Jackson till now. I like
Ah, yeah.
Michael
Okay,
Jackson. It's
yeah,
big in
yeah.
my life. I like Elton John. I like, Phil Collins. I like Bob Marley. I mean, I don't call them guilty pleasure. As long as I like them.
Yeah, and I
So,
think yeah,
okay.
I think to like for example Michael Jackson or Bob Marley, it's like they're iconic in what they did. You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
they
You cannot
very
deny.
and yeah, and they're very not expensive.
Influential, you mean?
Yeah, and important for music
Yeah,
in general.
absolutely.
So
Yes,
yeah,
they're legends. Yeah.
I mean Billie Jean, for example, and
Oh, love
it's
it.
almost and Beat It, it's almost you know
Rock song.
rock songs. So
Yeah, it has
mixed
Eddie
up
Van
with
Halen.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
all
he
right,
got Slash on a couple of songs also. He has a song called Given to Me, which has Slash in it. And also Duff McKagan
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Guns N' Roses. Yeah. That
yeah,
song is my favorite song. Given to Me is my favorite song from him. It's a pure rock and roll song. It's
yeah,
not a pop song.
yeah, yeah. Of
So yeah,
course.
I like Michael Jackson. But I listen also to a lot of blues. I listen to flamenco. I listen to some jazz. I listen to classical music, prog rock. I'm into 70s like Jimi Hendrix, Cream, Eric Clapton, all that stuff. Love it.
Yeah, okay, but all they are great musicians, by the way.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not a guilty pleasure would be
No, no, no,
uh,
no, no.
maybe
I
other
don't feel guilty.
from the Backstreet
For
Boys, for
sure, I don't feel
example.
guilty.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Now, what I just said, a guilty pleasure would be if you have a record from the I don't know Backstreet Boys or Britney
Or
Spears.
Justin Bieber or something. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
there's this,
it's
if you want something really corny, there's a song that when I watched it now, like a few years ago, for a band called East 17.
oh
And
yeah, oh I
it's
remember. Yeah,
awful. It's
all
awful.
right.
Dude,
Yeah,
all right, that's the one. Yeah,
yeah.
it's all
Everything
right.
gonna be all right. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's the one. The way they looked and all the, oh my God, I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
when I
The
was
guy
younger,
with
I
this
liked that.
weird head, you know.
Yes,
It's
yes,
a,
so big
my
hat like
mother
that. Yeah.
used to call it a Kaffeewärmer. It's like the thing what you put on the yeah on the
Chef.
coffee to keep it warm.
Oh, yeah. Also,
Yeah,
yes, indeed,
yeah.
indeed.
Okay.
So
So
you,
yeah, let's go back to Anomic. Um, by the way, how in how many bands are you playing right now?
at the moment, I'm in four bands.
In four. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, how do you manage this?
I have nothing else to do, really. I skipped everything else in my life, like all activities. I'm
Okay.
not employed per se. I am investing in something with my cousin
Mm-hmm.
outside of here. Uh, so I'm not working. I finished university here in 2022. I went back to university in Holland and I finished. And since then, I was recording and working on music at the time. Also, Pandemonium was
Okay.
active. But when I graduated, I formed AnomiC and I joined Pitchfork and I joined Onked. So it was just one band, and then after school, I started to be in three more bands. So I filled up my time completely. I'm not doing anything else really. I'm just focused on that.
Oh yeah, great. Yeah, okay, but yeah, then it will work out, of course. But if
Yeah,
you
it is stressful still, and it's a lot of work, because you have
yeah
schedules here, you have schedules here. You need to
yeah yeah
know and divide your time and find, in yourself to separate that you're not playing black now, you're playing thrash, you're not doing this. You have to do that in your mind, but I like it. I like the challenge. I've seen
yeah
a lot of my favorite artists like Dan Swano. Dan Swano is one of my favorite artists in metal. So
okay
he's the guy from Edge of Sanity, and he started Bloodbath with the guys, from Bloodbath, and
yeah
he has Nightingale, he has Witherscape, he has like 1,000 bands, and
yeah
Mike Portnoy the same. He has like 1,000 bands, and I was always, what do you call it? I was always inspired by them. Like, damn, those people are finding ways to do different styles and different bands. Just I
yeah
want
yeah
to do that if I get the chance. So yeah, opportunity opened, and I did it.
yeah that's great. I just talked a few days ago with a friend of mine about Peter Tetkin from
Yeah, yeah,
Hypocrisy because he's
yeah,
the same. You know, he's
absolutely.
producing He's used to produce Immortal and a lot of more bands, and then he's
and
playing
Dark
in
Funeral.
Pain, and yeah,
Yes.
he's and I think he actually has his own label as well, but I'm not sure. But
Label, I don't know, but he has the Abyss Studio, absolutely. But I don't know if he has a label, but
yeah,
for sure
sorry,
the
yeah, yeah,
studio.
yeah, I was confused. Not
Yeah,
label,
he
but
did a band called the Abyss in the 90s. Also, they played black metal, just the same members of Hypocrisy, but they switched instruments. Peter is playing drums and singing, and you have the bassist, I think, playing guitar, and the guitarist playing the drummer playing
okay,
guitar or something like that. Yeah, it's
all
the
right, yeah,
same members, but black metal band. Check it; it's called the
okay,
Abyss. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
yeah. Well, I didn't know that. Okay,
yeah.
um,
And Peter also, by the way, just one thing, he produced Demo Borgir also. One of my favorite albums from Demo is Spiritual Black Dimensions. He's the producer also. So that's a big album in my life as a in a black metal scene. And it
okay.
was Peter who, yeah, produced
Yeah,
it.
I think that was for me the first real black metal album I listened to was I always forget the name, Darkness Enthroned Triumph blah.
Triumphant. Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
you know where the Morning Palace and stuff and
Yes.
Chris Illusion. I think it's Chris Illusion. No, it's
No, you mean Spellbound and Entrance and Death's Embrace. That's on In
yeah,
From
yeah, yeah,
Darkness,
yeah,
Triumphant.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
my favorite album. Well, by Dimmu Borgir and
Yeah, it
yeah,
was my
and
favorite too for a long time, but then spiritual, I don't know, it just passed it a little bit because it's very
yeah, okay,
underrated and it's
yeah.
very thick. The
Mhm.
spiritual is very thick. It has a lot of just very bombastic and massive album. So for me, that one just passed it a little bit. But
Yeah.
Enthroned Darkness is a masterpiece too.
Okay, so now let's get back to Anomic.
Let's go. I love talking about
Okay.
music. I don't care. Let's keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. The band was founded in 2023, right?
Yes.
Okay. And the first thing I saw, it's like this band are just two members. So that's you. You are the first singer and guitar player, and then you have a bassist, a bass player, and he's doing the back vocals. Or
He's doing the growling, the low, all the growling is him, and all
okay,
the high
and
pitched singing is
the
me.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Um,
So we're two singers basically. He's the bassist and the growler, and I'm the guitarist and the shrieker.
Okay.
Yeah.
First question would be why is there no drummer? Was it planned as a just it's as it sometimes it starts as a project?
Well, actually, just to there's a new announcement that just took place 2 weeks ago. We have a second guitarist now.
Oh, okay.
He joined the band. Mo, yeah, I did not send you this update. I'm sorry, it's not on the EPK also.
Okay, no, it's
Because
fine.
it was just a couple of weeks ago. A friend of mine, Mo Mohammed, he lives here also in Holland, and he's a great guitar player. And since I met him, I think 3 years when AnomiC was starting, I told him, "Look, dude, I am starting like a new band, and there's a lot of like Syrian metalheads in Europe at the moment. They are,
Mm-hmm.
collaborating and doing bands and working together, and we wanna do projects together, all of us. So if you show me how you play, and he showed me a couple of videos, and he was amazing. I told him, if you do need to get on this bandwagon because before it passes you by. So he went and he got the guitar again and started practicing again. And we talked, and then he's now in the band. I told him I'm releasing the EP and all that. So in the beginning, I started the band because I left the thrash metal band I was in, the German thrash metal band called War Agenda. I was in that band at the time, and I left them, and I wanted to continue to do something thrashy. So I started this project, and I talked to Fadi, the bassist. He's a producer also. He's the guy who produced the. So I told him, I'm starting this band. I'm alone now. I have all the music, the lyrics, everything is done for the EP, and you are free to be in the band if you want to play. Because he's a guitarist, drummer, bassist, everything.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
told him, and producer also, a Syrian guy, by the way, who lives in Leipzig. So I told him, if you want to be part of the band, you're welcome. So he said, yeah, I could play bass and sing maybe. So I listened to his voice, and I told him, you do the growling, I'll do the shrieking, and you play bass. We will start the project like this and finish the EP and produce it and release it, and then we will look for members. So for me, it's a
Okay.
project. Yeah, I want to put the band on the map quickly, and
Mm-hmm.
then get the
Mm-hmm.
members. So I do some promotion and then
Yeah.
get members. So I didn't look for members in the beginning, and we got even the guy called Christoph Klingbein. He's the drummer who plays live with bands like Vader and Belfagor and Hate. Few bands that he played live with. Really iconic Polish drummer,
Mm-hmm.
young
Mm-hmm.
dude, 28, 29 years old. He has like 100 albums on his CV. So I contacted him and told him, "Do you want to record this?" He recorded Pandemonium also for me earlier that year. I told him, "If you want to record this," and I paid him. He recorded the EP. Yeah, so now I am actually looking for a drummer. I have several announcements on Facebook and stuff like that. I have a drummer who's gonna be a guest drummer with me or with us in May because we have a show. So, but he's just for that show, and I'm looking for a drummer. But now we are three piece. At the moment, we are three people in the band.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So it was never planned as a project, but
No, no, no. I
as
wanted it to be
you
a
want
full
to
band.
you want to like announce, okay, there's something going on, and
Yeah,
then
exactly,
as soon as the EP was done, you were looking for band members.
exactly, exactly. Yes,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, yeah. Okay, I see. Christoph Klingbein. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think he's very famous also.
Christoph
Well,
Klingbein.
he's
Yeah,
is well known. So,
yeah,
okay, I think it's called a hired gun. If you hire something to record something, because I think
exactly.
it's great because the easy way could have been just take a drum computer,
Yeah, I didn't
but
want that.
yeah, yeah, that's great. Okay. Um, So, and these are the first, well, the three songs have been recorded, but I think you got more in how's it called, in the pipeline, because if you want to play live, there should be more than three songs, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have actually, if I have an entire album because again, AnomiC started when I left War Agenda, and at the
Yeah.
time I was composing with War Agenda. So I composed like a lot. Me and the guitarist of War Agenda at the time, I composed maybe 70% of the new album of War Agenda, and he composed 30%. And then I
Okay.
left the band, and I told them, guys, I hope you're not, we have to have an agreement. I want to use my material, and you can use your material. So let's divide everything, and I
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
take my stuff, you take your stuff. So I took my stuff, and my stuff was almost an album, almost an entire album. But it was kind of a thematic album. It has one theme. So I didn't want to take three songs from that and do an EP. And I did not want to release an album immediately because the band is unknown. It would be, lost. It would be a
Yeah.
shame
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
release 10 songs without having any fan base.
Yeah.
So I thought let's do three new songs, completely new
Okay.
songs,
Yeah.
release those, and then I have almost an album ready. So now it's like 90% of it is recorded and finished. Now we have the artwork and everything for the new album.
Okay.
So yeah, we're gonna play a couple
That
of songs from them
okay. Yeah,
from the
but
album.
that yeah, of course that makes sense. If that you have like a P to get known,
Yeah, yeah,
in the scene. Um,
yes. Just to stay, put myself on the map. An album also will take a long time to produce and to finish, and an
yeah,
EP finished in
but
like
if
3 months.
yeah, and then on the other side, if you do an album, I think the EP is not there's no physical CDs. It's just digital. Okay, or
Yeah,
is
yeah,
it?
yeah, exactly. Well, actually, oh, yeah, that's true. At the moment, it's just digital. But since we have now a show in May, I am considering to have like 50 CDs or 100 CDs. We don't have a merch stand at the show and
Okay, yeah,
T-shirts and stuff like
but
that.
that's still something which is easy to handle.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
but if
exactly.
you do an
Nothing
album
major.
and you I don't know, you will get produced like 400 500 CDs,
Yes.
and let's say nobody knows you yet,
Yeah, yeah,
then that yeah, as I said, then yeah, it can be lost very quickly because
exactly. Yes,
there are a lot of
exactly.
bands and so on.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
hard to be picked up. You need to know how the people will respond to, at least two or three songs in the beginning if there's an appeal to the band, yeah, then you can continue with a bigger project indeed. Because these 10 songs from the album, it took me a year and a half composing with War Agenda. So it would be a shame to have them out and then lost, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I thought let's just bang with 3 songs, just compose completely 3 new songs and start promoting the band based on those songs. And that's what's happening. And the band is taking off now. We are signed with the Wormhole Death Records, and we started to get some shows and stuff like that. So yeah.
All right, okay. So
Yeah, we
that's
signed with Wormhole. Also, that's not in the EPK. I'm sorry, that's not
no, no,
updated in the
no.
EPK,
You don't
but
have to
we
put
signed.
everything in. I mean, we have something to talk about, but it's
Yeah, yeah.
interesting um, that I mean, I listen to the songs and they're great. You know,
Thank you. Thank
but
you. Appreciate it.
yeah, and it's like I think in my opinion, death and thrash is always a good mix.
Yeah,
It can be
totally.
sometimes it's more death metal with like a small influence of thrash metal. Sometimes it's more
Yeah,
thrash metal with like death metal growling and singing. So
yes,
it's very it can vary a lot of stuff within this
yes.
two subgenre mix whatever. So
100%. Yes.
um so I think it's yeah, you have more like how's it called? Not freedom, but no, freedoms. I think it's wrong.
Well, it is actually a good word, freedom. Yes, and space. Indeed, you have a
Yeah,
lot of
space.
options
Yeah,
in
you have
space.
more options. Sorry. Yeah, that was
Absolutely.
what I was looking for. The word. Yeah, more
Absolutely.
options to
War Agenda was more of a thrash metal band, pure thrash metal band when I
yeah.
was with them, the German guys. So when I left them, I could have formed the thrash metal band only, but I am like that. I like to include more than one thing in the band. I don't want to sound like
Some
in one
more
genre.
elements. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I decided to do thrash, but add death to it and just, go crazy with both.
Yeah, and what I mean is that you have only released 3 songs
Yeah.
and already got a label, which
Yeah.
is not it's not always the
Not
case
bad.
and not
No.
that fast. Um, but yeah, that's great because they can do a little bit more promotion and yeah, as you said, they can get you shows, you know,
Yeah. And they
and I
put you on
think it's
playlists and interviews and magazines and radio plays and stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah, and I think that's very important, to get known, and
Absolutely.
then yeah, then it makes sense to say okay, now it's the time to get to produce an album or a
Yeah.
record album, and then you just can go ahead.
Yes.
And
That
not you
was
have
the
to say,
plan
okay,
exactly.
okay, now, yeah, okay, I have to compose and I have to write songs and so on. I think that would be, as I said, how long did it take? 1.5 years
For
to
the
write?
EP,
Now for all the songs you wrote,
the new album or the EP that you have,
the album.
the new album that's coming out. When I was with War Agenda, yeah, it took me a year and a half composing 70% of the album. And now
Okay.
I needed to compose the last 30%, which was the other guitarist that composed it
Yeah.
in War Agenda. And now I have to fill up those gaps. So it took me a year and a half. And now I've been working on the new album for 2, 3 months also extra. And there's still more work to do.
Okay.
So yeah,
Do you
it's
have already something like a timeline? Do you even know one at what point you will release a record, or is it?
yes, I hope it's gonna be August. That's my talk with the label with Wormhole because most likely it will be with them also.
Yeah. Okay.
So the idea was to be actually in the beginning it was April or May, but we had some issues to postpone and we postponed it to August. Hopefully August will be out
Okay.
the album.
Right. Okay. And will it be more thrashy because you said that the songs you wrote are already for the pure thrash metal band, or
Very
is there?
perceptive. Very, very good question. Uh, it might be a little more thrashy, and those elements, those 30% that I'm telling you about, the gaps that are not there, I'm trying to fill it in with death metal because indeed most of the album is thrashy. That's true.
Okay.
So that 30% that I did not compose yet, and I started composing recently, I'm filling it with death, not thrash anymore, because
Yeah.
there's enough
Okay.
elements of thrash on the album. Yeah.
Ah.
So
Okay.
it's gonna be a mix between the two, but maybe indeed a bit more thrashy. Maybe yes.
Okay. Yeah,
just because of the fact that it was composed with the guys when I was with them.
but what I really liked when I heard the songs is that I mean you just wrote the shrieks, yeah, but I think they are
Yeah,
not that high. You know, I
no,
it's like maybe yeah the later Metallica stuff or Megadeth stuff or even Destruction or Exodus. You know, I for example Overkill. I love Overkill
yeah.
when it comes to the music, but when it comes to the voice, I'm out.
Are
Even
you out? Okay, okay.
with how is he called? Bob, I think Bobby Blitzer.
Yeah, Bobby Blitz. Yeah,
I think this voice is way too high, but
too high.
it's just my opinion, you know.
I understand, understand. But no, we don't
I
have singing like that. No, it shrieks. I mean, like, the yeah,
yeah,
shrieking
but
screams.
it sounds more pissed, you know.
Yeah, all right.
It sounds
I
more
like that.
like yeah, it's more like that you are or let's say more grumpy.
All right, I like
Then
that.
it sounds like 80s hair metal thrash something, you know.
Okay,
Um,
all right, all right.
so
Some
you
people
know,
are telling me that my voice in this EP specifically, that I sound a little bit like John Nodvit from Dissection, which is cool. Dissection is one of my influences in
yeah,
Ammonium,
yeah,
actually.
okay, yeah,
They
yeah.
tell me
I
that you
didn't
have
have
that
that on my mind,
streak.
but yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, of course.
But for
Yeah,
me, the main influence is really in this style of singing. I say it without shame. There are Chuck Schuldiner and Mikhail Stane from Dark Tranquility. Those, especially the old Dark Tranquility.
hmm,
The way they deliver the songs and the way they pronounce the words, and like Chuck had this
yeah, yeah,
does
yeah, yeah,
those little dictions at the end. I love that he had like a lot of pissed off vibe in his delivery of singing. So those two were big in my approach of singing that style, specifically the high shrieks. But people are saying that John also sounds a bit like John, and John is a big character in my life in the black metal scene.
yeah,
So maybe they leaked into each other. So yeah.
yeah. That's great. Yeah, I like bands like I forgot the name. You Sent It, for example.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
German band. I have like
very,
5, 6 albums on them.
very,
Love them.
very aggressive vocals. And I think
Totally.
if the vocals are too high, you know, like especially in thrash metal, you have so much great riffs. You know, like
Yeah,
the old Sepultura stuff, for example.
yeah,
And if you then have a voice like Bobby Blitzer, I think it kills like kind of the aggression and the aggressive style.
totally,
So that's
totally.
why I'm not in so many thrash metal bands. Uh, but as long as I have
Because of the
like
clean singing.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
exactly.
understand. Yeah, yeah. You like
So
the
that's the
gruffy.
same in metalcore. You know, it's like metalcore
Hmm,
is like okay, now you get the fist in the face and everything is destroyed, and then when the front comes
clean singing.
and then it's okay. Now he's getting flowers for his girlfriend. What the heck? You know?
Exactly.
So
100%. That also killed the whole metalcore for me. The whole
yeah,
clean singing. At
yeah,
some point, again, like I liked As I Lay Dying, I liked Trivium in the beginning when they came out. I thought they were melodic death. We didn't call them metalcore or anything like this. They
yeah,
had
yeah,
melodic death elements, but then they had that clean singing. And I'm like, what is this?
yeah.
How is
I
this?
mean, for example, Heaven Shall Burn. They never had it.
Yeah, they never
Or
had it indeed. Yeah.
Parkway Drive, I think. No, Parkway, yeah, Parkway Drive.
Yeah, they
Also
don't
don't
have it
have
also, I think.
any clean. It's just the
Yeah, that's true.
screaming or
Yes.
shouting style. Okay. Okay. So in August there will be around August the first record.
Yes, expecting the new album indeed.
Okay. So and as you said, the band is based in the Netherlands and in Germany.
Yeah.
So there are any plans where you want to play, or you want to play more in the Netherlands or more in Germany or wherever the label will put you in?
Well, the label is not arranging shows at the moment, to be honest. They are more like spreading our name everywhere. I'm the one who's
Okay, okay.
contacting venues and contacting organizers, stuff like that. So maybe they will start doing more of that when we release the album. But for me, the two shows that I got now, one in May and one in July. Well, in July, not me, a friend of mine got it, but it was through me. Are in Holland. One of them is in Groningen, and one of them is in Limburg. So we have two shows coming in May and July. But I am like I pushed my friend Fadi, who the bassist. I told him, dude, you are. He plays in another band, also like a war metal band, and he's playing. I think the band's called Warha, something like that. I forgot. I don't want to butcher the name.
Yeah.
He plays with them bass also. So I told him, dude, if you are touring a lot and doing a lot of shows, find some stuff to play in Germany. Let's manage like a mini tour in May, June, July. Let's make that like a touring time for AnomiC before
Hmm.
we release the new album. So I would love to play Germany. I'm finding more contacts there, and I'm talking to festivals and stuff. But a lot of them are booked, fully booked for this year. So
Yeah.
it might
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
for next year. I'm not sure. So I'm trying to find more like bands to tour with. I have a lot of friends here also in the Dutch scene in different bands. So I'm talking to them like, let's do a mini tour. Talk to the bars in Amsterdam and Utrecht and Rotterdam, all these places, and try to put up some dates. Put together some dates so we can tour. So for me, I would love to go to Germany. I would love to go to Austria. I would love to go to Belgium. It would be awesome.
Okay.
So, but maybe in the beginning we will start locally a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what I think, I mean, the German scene is, the fans are very, very great and passionate.
Yeah.
But in the Netherlands, I think it's even more. I was in next in the I think it was close to Utrecht. In
Utrecht. Yeah.
last November, there was a friend of me. He organizes gigs over there, and
Oh,
uh, yeah, I will send him talk to him and can get you the
oh,
contact.
that would be amazing,
Um,
man.
yeah, and but I think I forget, but I have the flyer anyway. So
Is it Tivoli? Tivoli in Utrecht?
no, no, it's not in. No, I think the bands were from Utrecht, but
Ah, the band is from Utrecht. Oh,
the location was in Nijmegen, something with N. I will send you the flyer, and
yes, I would like that.
then I can talk to him. But anyway, I think our meeting will stop in the next few seconds. Then I will just send you the new link, and then we'll make a cut.
All
Um,
right.
but the fans were amazing. There was like a mixed show with black metal. Then there was a hardcore band called Manus Plague. I don't know if you know them.
Oh,
There.
I know them. They're friends of. I play in a band called Onkt, and Onkt. I'm a singer of Onkt, like the new singer of Onkt, and they are close friends with Man as Plague, and they toured with them many, many, many times.
Yeah, and
So
they
yeah,
they
I know
were
Man as
head,
Plague.
they were headlining the show, the evening, and yeah, friends of mine from this mine, they're around my area played there, and you know in every slot in every band, the fans were like freaking out.
Crazy.
So
Uh-huh.
black metal, then this mine, they are more like thrash and death metal, and then Manus Plague, which is more like beat down
Genty.
hardcore
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, So yeah, I was very surprised, because
Well,
I'm
actually,
I'm
to be honest, I went to Germany to Oberhausen a few times, to Dortmund Death Fest. I attended Dortmund Death Fest,
yeah,
and
yeah, sure, Traude,
I
yeah.
yeah, I've seen people, German fans, and I went to Oberhausen. I've seen Ruhrpott Metal Meeting also for
Hmm.
2 days. The fans are fucking crazy also in Germany. I cannot say Holland is more or Germany is more. It really depends on the show and depends on the mood of the fans.
All right, here we go again. I think we were talking about yeah, the scene in Netherlands compared to the scene in Germany. Um, yeah, I think what you just mentioned, that you have been in Oberhausen.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
went to Ruhrpott Metal Meeting and I went to Cannibal Corpse. I've seen them also in Germany when they played with Immolation just recently, and
Yeah.
Dortmund also.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean,
So
I mean, even the in German it's called the Ruhrpott. That's
Ruhrpott,
that's
yeah,
yeah, that's the area like yeah, Dortmund, Bochum, Oberhausen, Duisburg.
exactly.
That's
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
like um yeah, that's a big area, even especially for metal.
Yeah,
A
absolutely.
lot of locations, a lot of metal pubs and stuff. Um, yeah, I think you can compare to what I've experienced in the Netherlands. You know, as I
Ah,
said,
okay, okay.
on
Hmm.
every show, it doesn't matter if it was black metal or thrash metal or even hardcore. Um, they were headbanging on every style. So and I think could be a bit more difficult in Germany if you mix up like one black metal and one thrash metal and one hardcore band because it's all like very different. But
Ah,
yeah,
okay,
anyways,
okay.
it worked and very yeah passionate fans. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For the most part, yeah. When you go to a show in Holland, you will see the crowd, especially if it's thrash or death. Usually, the crowd goes crazy.
yeah,
Uh, one incident I ran into though, which was weird for me, Monstrosity, which is my favorite death metal band of all time. They
yeah,
came here a couple of years ago, and that was my first time to see them. They had two dates in Holland, and I went to both of them, and they had Origin with them also, Technical Death, Origin. So
yeah.
it was and two other bands also. So it was an important lineup. And in both shows in Holland, people did not move at all. Like they even left space between them and the stage. And the singer from Origin started saying, "Guys, like come closer to the stage," and
Yeah.
they did not listen. And I was the only guy like standing really in the front and just headbanging with the band and singing every song, and the crowd is just empty. Like they are in the bar, like 50 people, maybe 40 people, but not
Yeah.
moving at all. It probably was winter time. It was like now, February or something, January, and people just didn't move. And for me, it was
Okay.
crazy because it's monstrosity and it's, one of the biggest Florida death metal bands of all time, but they are overlooked.
Yeah.
And that
I mean,
proved it that they are overlooked.
I mean, even in death and thrash metal or in genres where it's like more groovy, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
indeed.
I mean, I expect this when I go to a black metal show.
Black metal show,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
Or
it's so
or gothic.
it's yeah, it's so fast or so you know relaxing kind of that nobody
Yeah.
is in
Like
the pit.
Doom or something. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I never saw a mosh pit or a circle pit in a Doom show because it was then it could go very slowly. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Okay.
just
Okay,
cry
but
and hug your friends. That's the
okay.
mosh pit.
Okay, yeah, but that's weird, actually.
Yeah, that those two shows were very weird for me. Like I did not, understand how Origin was killing it, and then Monstrosity were headlining, and they were amazing, amazing, playing old school songs, new songs,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lot of groove. Monstrosity, they have a lot of groove, and they have one of the best drummers in death metal, in my opinion. Lee Harrison is amazing, and yeah, people just would not move, would not move. And they got even the second tour, the second date, they didn't finish the set. They left before the encore. Lee Harrison, I think, got pissed off and he left from the drums and just went backstage before they finished the show because I saw
yeah,
them the day before
yeah. I
and
mean,
I knew that there was two songs missing from the list. They didn't play
yeah.
them.
But I think it's kind of frustrating if
Yeah,
you you know play
you
and doesn't
came all
and
the way from the US, to have a show
yeah,
and no one
and
is
then
moving.
everybody's standing like this. Hmm, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
cool,
I met them after the show. I met Lee after the show, and I told him,
yeah,
dude, I have no idea why the people did not move. I don't want the Netherlands, since I am Dutch now. I don't want this to be the representation of the Dutch scene. They are really
I
crazy, and
see,
they go crazy normally in shows. I don't know
yeah,
why this happened. So I talked to him. He said it's okay, it happens. So I told him, but honestly, why did you not finish the set? Like yesterday, you played two more songs. Why didn't you play those two songs?
yeah,
He said, no, no, the pedal was not so good. Something happened with the pedal. But I could tell that he was, pissed off. I could tell,
yeah.
that he
But he
just
was
got
kind of
frustrated and
professional in
left.
the situation.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
okay,
I stood with them. I signed my CDs and I just made them give me pics and stuff. I made them feel like they are the most important band on the planet.
yeah,
So
great,
I did the
yeah,
job.
okay. At least, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, as we already talked about live shows, are there any shows booked and scheduled for you for Anomic right now, or are you still looking for shows? So if somebody says, "Okay, I listen to these three songs and I want to get more Anomic stuff," where can they go?
Thank you. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much, man. We have on the 30th of May, that's definitely a show, as like a festival in Groningen in the east of Holland.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't think I can mention who's headlining now because the
It's
poster is not out yet. I
it's
don't
not
want the
released. Yeah. Okay.
organizer to to be pissed off.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But it's an important Dutch band that is headlining, very important band, and we are like one of the openers. And on the 13th of July, 12 or 13, 13 of July. But I don't know who's headlining this one actually. This one I don't know. So 13th of July, 30th of May. Those are definitely booked for
Okay.
now. Yeah,
Okay.
those are the two shows.
So yeah. So if we have any yeah bookers around here and they see you, they can get in touch with
Please
you,
do.
or do they have to contact the label, or can they can as
No,
soon
no, no.
as
They
it.
contact me immediately. Yeah.
Okay, so they can arrange a show with you and not with the label. Okay, okay.
Dude, if you do that, you are welcome to all of our shows. Just come VIP and, anytime we have a
Okay.
show in town, come over.
Yeah, yeah, I will. I will.
Appreciate it so
Um,
much if you get the show in Germany or whatever, if you know someone. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I think that's to get a show in Germany is not the problem. The thing is always that you have to stay overnight.
Ah,
So,
we don't mind. That's fine.
and then it's always, because we are in the underground, and then we have to it depends on the venue and on the date and everything. But
We don't mind staying and sleeping overnight and, booking a hotel or a Airbnb or something like that. I don't mind at all. It's all
okay,
good.
yeah, I will check and then we can make business afterwards.
We talk
Okay.
backstage, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
behind the scenes.
exactly. Um, okay, so yeah, I got two more questions. Um, is there any let's call it bucket list or wish list for your band? So any that you say, okay, there's a I don't know this and this level I want to get up with the band, like play I don't know at Partisan or play with I don't know, play a headline show and Sinister is our support band or something like that.
Well, I mean, that's a very like a big question. Like, and I cannot even, I think, find one answer to it. But
Hmm.
you mentioned Partizan. That's one of indeed my bucket list festivals to play. Partizan is important to me. You have Dinamo is important to me to play because when I was a kid, when we lived in Egypt and Saudi Arabia and Syria and those places, of course, we didn't have any like metal bands coming from Europe or from the US to play. We never
Hmm.
saw those bands. We
But I
did some
think I
shows.
think sorry to interrupt you, but I
Go
think
ahead.
there's I think in Saudi Arabia is right now there
Yeah.
is but I think it's just one festival.
And they started now, but when I lived back in the 90s, there was nothing. But
Yeah.
now, yeah,
Okay.
they got
Yeah.
Cryptopsy and they got Metallica, they got a few bands indeed. They are opening up now. But
Yeah.
back in
Okay.
the
But
day, the
yeah.
90s and the early 2000s, there was none. Even Dubai didn't have anything yet. Dubai, I think, started to get bands in 2005 or 6, I think. They got Megadeth and Testament, and that's when I went. I traveled to Dubai to see them.
Hmm.
Um, and then we went to Turkey a couple of times. Also, they had festivals. I saw Slayer with the original lineup, and
Yeah.
I
Okay.
saw Overkill. I saw In Flames, but Opeth, I think also Dark Tranquility. Uh, yeah, but in Syria or Egypt at the time, and until now, we didn't have like big metal bands to play. All we had was the VCD. Remember the VCD, like CDs to watch shows, like DVD. But at the
Yeah.
time, it
Yeah.
was VCD.
Yeah.
So the live that Chuck Death played in Dynamo was left a big impression on us.
Yeah.
And Dynamo became kind of like an iconic venue.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's for me an important venue to play. Just to go back to my nostalgic 1999 or something or
Yeah.
2000, I forgot what the show was. In my mind, I'm standing on the same stage as Chuck. That would be important. So Partisan, yeah, playing with bands, yeah. Again, Monstrosity would be one of them. Another band would be Coroner, Coroner from Switzerland. I don't know if you know
Hmm.
them. It's one of my favorite tech thrash bands of all time. I love this
Yeah.
band.
Okay.
I would love to play with them. Yeah, I mean, to have a proper tour would be cool. Headlining or not headlining, playing with the bigger bands or smaller bands or, you know, just, local bands, friends of ours and stuff like that. To have a proper tour for like
Okay, it's like
20
two
days or
weeks.
something.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
That would
okay.
be cool to go to Eastern Europe, to go to Germany, to go to, even South America. I would love to go. There's a band from Dubai who are friends of mine called Nerf Cell. I don't know if you know them.
Yeah, of course.
You know them,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's the biggest band in the Middle East at the moment.
Yeah.
So those are friends of mine. Rami, the one of the founders of the band, is a very close friend of mine, and they played all over the world. They played in South America. They played Asia, Singapore, I think. I think they did some Japan, or I'm not sure
Yeah.
anymore. But they played a lot of Asian places, Asian countries. So that would be a dream for me to have those memories collected from all those places, to
Yeah,
travel the
okay.
world and see different bands. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um, yeah, so my last question would be um, imagine you cross the street and then you will see an alien and you have to describe your band to this alien in one sentence.
Does the alien know what metal is?
Not, I would say no. I mean, the alien is an alien. It understands every language, so it doesn't matter what
Okay.
you say. But the alien doesn't know metal like in a music style. It's just
Okay. So
hello.
if I
My
give
name
him,
is Digo Dago. Describe your band in one sentence.
okay, I mean, if he knows the thrash scene, like if he knows Metallica and Megadeth and Testament, it would be easier. But if not, I would refer him to few bands and tell him put all those bands in the blender and shake them, and that
Okay.
would be anomic. So I would choose bands like Monstrosity, Coroner, Creator, Old Sepultura, Old Slayer, Malevolent Creation, Dismember, Bolt Thrower, Morbid Angel. Take all of those bands because the way I'm approaching anomic basically is every genre or subgenre within the thrash and death, everything
Hmm. Hmm.
from
Hmm.
Sweden, like Dismember, from Germany, Creator,
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
the US, Slayer, from New York, like Malevolent and Cannibal Corpse, Suffocation, Technical Death, all kinds of death and thrash and technical death, all together are included in Anomic. It's open door, as long as it's in those, parameters of death and thrash. So I would give him a list of those bands. I would tell
Hmm.
him, go listen to them, put them in the blender, and that's us. That's how I would describe it.
That's very good.
Because we are trying to do a new sound. And how do you do a new sound in this time and age? It's every sound has been kind of explored. So I figured
Yeah.
the way to do a new sound is to be influenced by as many bands as possible, and then and bands that have different flavors also. Like I don't want to be another Testament. I don't want to be another Death. I don't want to be another Slayer. You know what I mean? I want something that has from all of them, and then
Yes.
it
Yes. Yeah.
sounds fresh and weird. Like Jesus, he just did a monstrosity part followed by a melodic part from At the Gates. How is this?
Hmm.
I'm like,
Hmm.
yeah, that's what I want. I want something unexpected. So get the blender and listen.
That's a great explanation actually because when I do reviews, I used to say sounds like destruction, sounds like creator, sounds so. But I think that's kind of disrespectful because every band stands
Yeah,
for its own. So,
yeah,
and what I say is, if you like creator, if you like this member, if you like this and this, then you will love Anomic, for example.
yeah, yes.
So,
That's
you
exactly,
know,
exactly.
it's
You
what
you
you
will
say.
find elements
It's
of that
it's
in it. Yeah,
yeah, you will find elements from this band, but it
yes.
still makes like a good blend of a new band,
New sound,
new
absolutely.
sound.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
exactly.
to be honest, also, I mean, with all due respect to all of the bands, they are all brothers and all in the community. But some bands, indeed, you can hear that they are only sounding like, Creator, or they're only sounding like Cannibal Corpse. And
Yeah, yeah,
I think it's the band's fault at this point. Like, okay, I understand you want to do a death metal thing, but like, try to, keep a little distance between you and the band that you are so influenced by. Don't sound like a clone. You see a
yeah,
lot of
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Dismember clone. You see a lot of Cannibal Corpse clone, Suffocation clone. And it's nice. They do a lot of amazing stuff and great musicianship. But
yeah,
I feel that there's a lack of originality sometimes.
yeah, yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's a fun fact. I bought a CD a couple of months ago from Blood Gutter. I think they are
I don't
based
know that.
in Denmark. Um,
Okay.
and they sound,
I'll
yeah,
save it.
original, like this old Swedish death metal, like Dismember, Entombed, and so on. And
Unleashed.
I put it in. I was like, okay, yeah, that's great. I like it. It's like Entombed with a modern production. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
but I listened to the whole CD and was like, okay, it's cool, but it's very, very, very close to Entombed. And
Hmm. Hmm.
then I just checked the booklet. No, and no, and I checked it online as I was looking for the band, and then there was a band pick, and every member was wearing an Entombed shirt.
Oh, so
So I was
like
like, okay, I was right. So it's not like totally confusing what I'm saying, you know. But I
hit the
think
mark.
yeah, that's what I think I don't know if they did it on purpose, no. But
Well, I think they did,
I mean, they're
obviously,
great.
if
They're
they're
very great. You know, I didn't see
yeah,
them
yeah,
live
I
yet,
understand.
but by very, very great production and very, very straight and rough songs, very great.
All right.
But yeah, as I
You
say,
felt
very,
that they
very.
are you but again, like for this band specific, what you're saying now, they are, if you say that the pictures of the band members they have entombed t-shirts, they are doing that they are telling you right in your face that we are an entombed influence band,
Yeah.
like they
So,
are not
but if
hiding it.
yeah, but if I'm telling you, hey man, your band is great, but it sounds like a little bit like Entombed, and then you are pissed off, then I would say, okay, are you deaf?
Yeah,
um,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay.
No, but for those people, obviously they meant it. Like that was intentional to make you feel that they are into it. And even though
Yeah,
more so that they have the t-shirts on,
but
like to
I think it's fine. You know,
yeah,
I'm not into that much into like cover bands. You know, I think
yeah. Indeed, they're
there
almost
are
like a tribute band. Yeah, yeah,
yeah
yeah.
there are a lot of ball thrower. Okay, ball thrower.
All throw clones.
No?
Yep.
But I used to went on a festival where Hypocrisy were playing and
Mhm.
a Hypocrisy cover band on the same
Oh,
festival. So I was like, okay, that makes no sense at all.
no sense at
Um,
all.
but you can if you do like yeah entombed style that's what I'm totally fine with it, you know. It's
Yeah, me
but
too. Especially if you say so.
don't be pissed off if I compare to Entombed if it sounds like
100%.
Entombed. So okay,
100%. You chose that.
um
You chose that, and that's what what we will see.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly. All right. um yeah, this was AnomiC. I think latest in August we have to talk again when the record
I hope
is
so.
has been released, and then we will see what yeah what happened in or what will happen in the next 8 months, and actually 6 months. And yeah, I wish you the best of luck and every success with your band.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it big time.
I think we will talk in the next weeks or months again, but with other bands and other yeah with your about the other bands. And yeah, we have a tradition that our guests will have. I don't know if there's a wording in English. Have the last word, so that.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't know if there's the wording in Deutsch. In German, it heißt wow. Okay, now I'm mixing up everything.
I
It's
understand you, brother.
called hat das letzte Wort. So it's like
Yeah, you give me the floor to say the last word.
exactly. So
Yeah,
yeah, but you even can stay after you finish because then I have to tell you when the interview goes online and stuff and everything.
sure, sure.
So yeah, thank you very much for your time, and you have the last word.
All right. Last word, I will keep it short. Support the underground. Really do support the underground. We are in a vicious industry, a vicious system where the bands are being ripped off in every possible way. And I'm not saying support them financially. It's not about finances. It's support them as in spread the word. Spread the word. Just share, just like, the small, simple, any simple move counts. Support the underground. That's all.
Great. Thank you very much. See you.
Appreciate it.